Do you want a conversation cheat sheet or a strategy that would help to improve the quality of your conversations? By the end of this video, you'll have 6 of my top tips to help you make any conversation less awkward. I have a blog on communication, confidence, and personal development, which reaches thousands of people monthly. Also, I have academic interest and professional experience in communication, so this is an area I am totally immersed in. I understand what it takes to make this transformation, and I have a solution for you. In order to have a good conversation, you need to initially understand the purpose of the communication. What is the purpose of the communication? Why are you communicating? So the purpose of the communication determines the direction of the conversation. So are you trying to inspire someone, or are you communicating to teach something? So the purpose of the communication goes a long way to determine how the conversation goes. So for example, if you're teaching someone something, the way you communicate with them is different from when you're trying to inspire them or when you're trying to just have a casual conversation. So first, identify the reason for which you're having a conversation with the person, because largely it influences the tone, the pace, and also the impact of the conversation. So first, before you have a conversation, bear in mind the purpose for which you're having that conversation. Empower the person you are having the conversation with by engaging them in the conversation. Conversations should not be one-sided, so it should not be all about you. You should not have to be the one talking the entire time. Ask them questions, ask them for their opinions, pause, make eye contact, give them an opportunity to speak also. Even if it's like a presentation of sorts, you can have a way of connecting them to the conversation by roping them in, asking them about their experiences, or asking them questions, or giving them an opportunity to ask questions. Conversations must not be one-sided. We know that, of course, sometimes there are situations where you have a lot to say, there's a lot on your mind, but you need to bear in mind that you are not the only person engaged in the conversation. Communication is a two-way affair. So if you're talking to someone, you should not be the only one talking. You have to listen also. Bear in mind, part of good communication is the ability for you to listen. So when you're having a conversation, it is not all about you. That is key. It is not all about you. Let the other person speak and give them an opportunity to engage. Communicate with them, engage them, ask them about their opinions, ask them questions, ask them about their experiences. Pause and give them an opportunity to also talk, and that would make a great conversation. Be comfortable with yourself and be authentic. A major mistake is when you're trying to speak like someone else, or when you're trying to engage with someone and you're trying to sound like someone else, or you want to communicate based on how you've heard someone else communicating. Conversations are more exciting when you're authentic, when you're yourself. By being authentic, I mean that be yourself. Do not try to be someone else. When you're engaging a conversation with someone, it's also an opportunity for you to learn and an opportunity for them to learn from you. And if you're not being yourself, it becomes really difficult for you to have that opportunity to learn from them or give them more of what you've got. It may also come across as if you're faking it. It may come across as if you're not being authentic, and it messes with your credibility. So make sure that you're authentic when you're having a conversation with someone. Do not try to be like someone else. Do not try to sound like someone else. Be yourself, share your experiences, and that is what definitely makes a good conversation. Conversations with people who are authentic are the kind of conversation that leaves people leaving the conversation with a lot from the conversation. As long as whatever you say is not disrespectful, does not harm anyone, or is not racist, or it's not derogatory, or doesn't in any way offend anyone, then try to be yourself. Have a conversation, be respectful about it. By being yourself and being authentic, I'm not saying go ahead and be rude or go ahead and act in a way that is uncouth, basically, just because you're being yourself. Do that bearing in mind that you have to respect people, you have your image at stake, and so you have to present yourself in a very positive manner. Comment below and let me know what to you makes a good conversation. And also, you can share with me some of your most awkward conversation stories. If you haven't watched my video on the best conversation openers, make sure you check that out right after this video. Know your strengths and work on them. Are you a good speaker or a good writer or a good listener? Whichever one of these three you are, identify your strengths and maximize on them. You should know whether you're a good listener or a good speaker. Most often it's better to have a fair balance so you can listen and also speak, but do understand what your strengths are. Are you a better listener? Maximize on that. Are you a better speaker? Maximize on that. And I'm not saying that you should go overboard, because when you do that, the conversation becomes boring and you're unable to get the impact of the conversation. Understand what your strengths are and maximize on your strengths. That is helpful in having a great conversation. On the back of that last point, listen. Listen. Great communicators are also great listeners. It's not all about you talking and talking and talking. It's about you also listening. Listen with an intention to understand. Some people try to listen to respond. Do not only listen to respond, listen to understand and appreciate what the other person is saying. That way you are more engaged and the purpose of the communication or the conversation is also achieved. Because what's the point if you're both talking at the same time, or the other person is talking to you and all you are just thinking about is the next thing to respond with? Therefore, listen with that intention to understand, not just to respond. Non-verbal communication is key. Body language, voice, facial expression, hand gestures, all of these things are important because they help you communicate without speaking. For example, your facial expression can show sympathy or excitement or affirmation. Therefore, non-verbal communication is crucial in conversations. It's not all about what you say, it's also about the way you look, it's about the way the expressions on your faces, your hand gestures, and a lot more. Now that you know how to have an amazing conversation, I have prepared a 2-page guide on how to be a confident communicator. Download the guide from the link in the description box below. Also, if you want to join a community of bosses committed to becoming amazing communicators, I have an exclusive community where I share useful communication and personal growth tips. Join the group from the link in the description box below. Check out these videos next on how to improve your communication skills. If you love this video, make sure you subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.